Hello and welcome to a new episode of Game Informer's Test Chamber. I'm your host this time around. My name is Ben Hanson. I'm joined by the lovely Jeff Cork.
Hello.
And we're also joined by the best people in the world, the Jackbox folks down in Chicago. Hello, folks.
Hey, how are you guys?
Real good. So we got Arnie and we got Ryan. Can you guys explain your roles on the project?
Sure. I'm Arnie Niekamp. I've been a sort of writer and director at Jackbox for a long time.
Too long.
I directed Drawful, and in Jackbox Party Pack 3, I directed Trivia Murder Party and Fakin' It.
Hey, and I'm Ryan DiGiorgi. I'm also a game director at Jackbox Games. I am new to the company this year. I co-directed Quiplash 2, and I directed TKO in this pack.
With a game like Quiplash 2, does co-directing just mean writing a boatload of little prompts?
It's sort of a lot of things. The writers that we have, Warren and Spencer and a handful of others who contributed, do the majority of the writing on the prompts. The directors do write some. In this case, it was an instance of half helping out with a project that needed, just some more eyes on it, and half taking over for Steve Heinrich, longtime Jackbox director who left the company this year.
Gotcha. So with this video, we are going to, break the seal on a couple of these games. Jeff Cork and I are big fans. I don't know anything about these. I don't think he does either. So we're going to play a couple of them and just kind of talk about the overall package you guys have lined up for year 3 of this wonderful, wonderful series.
Sweet.
Awesome.
So what do you recommend?
Treat, and I feel like I'm being like, this would be gross if it weren't totally sincere, me saying this is our best pack. I am so excited for people to play these games.
Yeah, awesome. This is the first one I've worked on, but it's also the best one I've worked on.
So should we dive into Trivia Murder Party here?
Yeah, let's do Trivia Murder Party.
All right. Just from that one still, it looks like Five Nights at Freddy's inspired. Is that what we're getting into here?
We have this idea even pre-Five Nights at Freddy's, although I suppose maybe the success of Five Nights at Freddy's kind of helped a few people internally get on board with this idea that people would be excited to play a horror-themed trivia game.
Okay.
I don't think so. Obviously, there are a lot of settings that are great for like streaming and stuff, but I think for this, just the regular stuff is fine.
Okay, so go ahead and go to play.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Awesome. Cork, what's your favorite Jackbox game?
Oh, Quiplash.
It's tough to beat Quiplash.
Obviously, Quiplash.
Okay, so room code. Let's enter this stuff here. And now, Jeff Cork, no cutesy names. Let's just go vanilla. Let's just actually say our names here.
Are you being serious? Because I'm
being dead serious.
Okay. Part of the joy is coming up with a really funny name for yourself, but some games it's just nice to know who everybody is.
Yeah, we'll play it straight for this purposes there.
Perfect. Press everybody's in. Does somebody have that prompt?
Right. Yep, I'm going to do it.
Awesome. Great. Look at this technology. They're playing from Chicago. Online gaming is the future.
We've also snuck into your break room as well.
Oh, fantastic. Now, are you a huge horror fan, or where's this coming from?
I am. My wife is a bigger horror fan than I am. Sort of the idea was that I just thought I like the combination of sort of the fantastical and the absurd, and so it seemed really like you could do a really funny trivia game if the host is just a serial killer, but he's just really invested in hosting a trivia game for some reason.
All right.
He's got two big loads.
Yeah, that premise seemed like a real joke machine to me, like just so easy to come up with a lot of funny ideas.
Okay.
And this game is just jam-packed with weird stuff.
I'm going to ask you a bunch of trivia questions. If you get a question wrong, you have to fight for your life in one of my super fun mini-games. If you do badly in the mini-game, I'll kill you. But don't worry, Ghosts can still win the game. When one player is left alive, we'll go to the final round where the living and dead compete to see who can escape first. And anyone who I didn't get around to kidnapping yet can volunteer as an audience member and play along. It's just as deadly. What else?
And who's the wonderful voice actor here?
The voice actor is Spencer Ham, who's one of our writers. We actually... It's a real challenge to get a really good performance under that voice filter because it really sort of deadens everything. So we tested out a ton of people, and then we just lucked out that one of our writers did a great job.
Nice.
With the voice.
Use your device to answer the question.
Oh, boy.
They're all the same?
Apparently so.
I don't know.
Oh, boy.
I don't know the answer to this one.
There's no dark twist here, right? This is just straight trivia.
Hey,
Very good.
we're
For
all
the most part, I
geniuses.
mean, some of the questions are funny, but some of them are pretty straightforward. Oh, we all got it right. Apparently, we all just intuitively knew that.
Yeah,
That's really
I could
weird.
sense it.
Where is the Mariana Trench?
Okay. Now, is this not fair? I mean, do you guys know all these? Do you have a cheat sheet in front of you? Is it on a whiteboard or something?
I definitely don't. I didn't work on this game, so I'm
Holy
the only honest
cow,
one.
we all got
Oh
them
my
all
god!
Lesson.
Now, this is pre-release code. Is this a bug? What's going on here?
Fix in.
To the killing floor.
It's
So-
a bug. We usually play with stupider people.
Yeah, so normally in the game, if whoever gets questions wrong goes to the killing floor, but if everyone keeps getting them right, the host still kicks everyone to the killing
Candy
floor.
pairs best with
Okay.
popcorn.
So for this
Type
mini
an
game,
answer in your device
everyone
and
types
send
in
when
an
you're
answer
finished.
for this.
Oh, God.
I'm very confident about mine.
I feel like I'm going to get a repeat. I feel like we're going to get a lot of repeat answers for this one.
Okay.
Could be. That's a nice little quiplash action
Now
here.
everyone gets
Okay.
to vote. I want you to pick the answer that you hate the most.
Oh, the one we hate. Oh, this is
So
good.
pick the one that you think deserves punishment.
Yeah. Well, somebody did write out the word
Pick
dingus.
the answer that makes you go,
Yeah, I have two main contenders from high school.
Yeah, it was challenging, but I'm
The
pretty
votes
happy
are
with what I ended up with.
All right. Oh, no.
Words, but I bet they'd also be terrible.
Nestle's Bunch of Crunch and Popcorn. I'll vouch for it.
That seems solid.
And
So now you're a ghost.
You're dead. But keep playing, and I promise you can still win. It's about to get incorporeal up in here.
I'm confused. So does this actually affect me negatively?
Let's take a look.
It does, but only a little bit. Basically, you play the game until one person is left alive, and then you fight to escape, and all the ghosts are going to try to chase you to see like who can get out first.
It's like Pac-Man versus. Okay.
Which leprechaun
So at the
Yeah.
end, it's an advantage to be alive, but anyone can win the game at the end.
Gotcha. Oh, boy.
Oh dear.
Is this a pun? I don't even understand with that name. What the fuck are they doing?
We are not responsible for the names of the leprechauns.
This.
Uh oh.
I screwed that up. Oh, we all screwed it up.
One is wrong.
Our wonderful streak is over.
I guess it's still technically a streak.
Welcome back to the killing floor.
So-
Everyone who's still alive goes to the killing floor to see if they die.
We're
Well,
going to play
I'll
chalices.
sit back and enjoy this.
I've given all the safe players a bit of poison to use. Pick a chalice to drop your poison in.
Hey guys, this is weird.
So yeah, you get to pick one chalice to poison, and then we're all going to have to pick one to
And
drink
it's your
from.
turn now. Pick a chalice to drink from.
Oh, good
Oh,
mind games
this is
here.
great.
You wouldn't
So our
want
odds
to
are actually not
spare
too
fate.
bad,
Right, it's only
right?
one
All the
poison.
chalices.
Did we make sure to say if you die in the game, you die in real life?
Yummy, yummy.
I feel like these are just directly ripped from Last Crusade, but I'm totally okay with that.
Oh, come on!
Welcome to hell, Arnie.
Oh, you brought a knife to a poison fight.
Do you guys feel like trivia is just your bread and butter? When all else fails down there, like, let's just make another trivia game. We're really good at those.
Pays for itself.
You know, the funny thing is, as someone who, like, I wrote You Don't Know Jack questions for years and years,
Yeah.
so I've written so much trivia that I was kind of excited to not be doing trivia for a while. And yet, for some reason, I was like, this trivia game seems like such a funny idea that I had to jump back into the trivia writing minds.
Yeah. Oh, man. I don't know if I've ever considered this.
Yeah.
Who said?
Cork, did you ever see that new Peanuts movie?
I have not seen that.
That was my second choice.
The rest of you who are
The
still
new Peanuts
alive,
movie was better than you'd think it would be.
For sure. Like, visually, it's one of my favorite animated movies in the last
nothing brings out the
15
best in
years.
people like a
Definitely
big pile
visually.
of cash.
Story was kind of a mess. But outside of that, it was great.
Right.
If no one takes the money,
They had about enough plot for an hour-long special, stretched out to an hour and a half.
Take the
Right,
money,
right.
I'll kill everyone who didn't. There's one catch. If you all take the money, then you all die.
I love this.
Think of this as a fun team-building exercise. Talk it out.
Cork did not hesitate.
Wow,
That was
I was
very-
really gonna make a
You
pitch.
should not think. Basically, if you both
Yeah.
take the money, I think everyone is dead and the game is over.
Consequences, Ah, crap.
Oh.
I don't get to kill anybody.
There you go.
Well, you're
I guess
both.
we're morally better than you.
Couple of cool dudes
I guess
coming
so. I
through.
literally take the money every time.
I
know.
Take the money.
All right, next
QA
question.
has never tested that option.
I was just remembering the best vacation I've ever gone on. Which cruise line caught fire and lost power in the fall of 2013, causing toilets to overflow for days?
What? Caught fire.
And the correct answer is this.
Oh boy.
Wait, was that the one that sunk off the coast of Greece or whatever?
Yeah, it was an Italian one, I think.
There was a real string of cruise line disasters for like a year.
Oh,
Yeah.
darn, this is such a mess.
Oh no.
I'm going to need everyone's help. There's blood all over this art. Memorize the pattern of blood.
Oh boy.
Oh, this is a tough one.
We're all doing this or just Cork?
Basically, if any of us can do better than him, he dies.
Love it. Okay.
Alright, that's enough time. Reproduce the pattern on your device by tapping on all the spaces that were red. Then press submit when you're done. If anyone does better than you, I will be testy.
Oh boy, I know this is not 100%.
These are a lot of ideas you guys have to pack in
Here's
here.
that art again, and here's what
It's
you
kind
do.
of a ridiculously jam-packed game, like especially considering it's just one of 5 games in this pack.
Right.
It
Yeah.
Could have
crazy.
probably been a standalone game.
Oh, get the
Oh,
hell out of here, Cork.
Holy
Can't
cow!
beat 100%. And
How are we standing? Are we all dead at this point?
I'm still alive.
I think, is Ryan the only living person?
Yeah.
Okay. What does it feel like, Ryan?
I think we all knew it would end this way. You know, you take a look at me. I'm just a living guy. You can
Right.
tell.
Where'd you come from in the industry?
I actually, funnily enough, I worked for several years doing interactive marketing stuff with sort of the same attitude as Jackbox, same kind of comedy, attempts to be, you know, sort of making kind of potentially dry stuff funny. I knew these guys because it was a sister company, Jellyvision, and then ended up coming over when they had an opening this year.
Nice. So you've been filling out your resume specifically for Jackbox for years and years and
Oh,
years.
absolutely.
Okay, perfect.
And he's been a friend of the company. We've known him for years and years. He actually occasionally has written stuff for us and did voice. He was the voice in Earwax and Jackbox Party Pack too.
Oh, wow. Do you feel like Earwax got its due?
It's a good game. I feel like maybe it's not, you know, a breakout favorite of everybody's, but I still like to play with friends.
Yeah. What about Jackbox Party Pack 2? Were there any surprises in that bundle about which ones kind of rose to the top?
And ghosts get a third choice.
That's a good question. I think we sort of felt like the ones that were going to hit the hardest did. And then the others, it's interesting. There are some people, there are like 2 or 3 games in Jackbox Party Pack 2 that some people
Time is almost up.
love and some people hate, but they're all different, right? Like some people hate Bidiots and love Earwax, and other people love Bidiots and hate Earwax. Did I say that?
Yeah,
the same
I think so.
time?
Australian
Sure.
cities.
So if you guys can catch up to me before I get out of the door, you can take over my body, basically,
I love
and win instead. So it's kind of a race to the finish here.
And as ghosts, we have an extra third supernatural answer to help us catch up.
Wait, how does that work?
So there are 2 options for Ryan to answer, but we have 3. So in theory, we could move 3 spots per answer,
Okay.
Sergeant
Yeah.
Pepper's
I
Lonely
want that to be more right than you.
whereas he can only move 2 at best. All the answers could be right, all of them could be wrong, or some combination thereof.
God, I wish I knew this.
Decision
All of those questions feel like something I should know, and then I'm always, oh, I got it though.
to rate some harder
All
questions.
right. All right.
It's gonna,
Getting close.
yeah, oh god.
Here's another one.
Guys, tell my family I love them.
Laxative brands.
All right, so we clearly all know this one.
Great territory, you guys. Endless comedy.
We've all been to college. We know laxative brand.
I hope Monster Lax is really a
Yeah.
laxative brand. It's just like, whew, I need something with the power of a Monster Lax.
Oh.
Oh
All right.
no!
Yeah.
You're alive.
I'll take it.
Crazy game.
So now you're alive, and you will only have 2 choices per question.
Omnivorous dinosaurs.
Okay.
Feeling real good about this.
This is serious.
I know.
Yes.
A ghost is right on your tail. Watch out.
Watch out, you guys. Oh,
Seven
God.
wonders of the ancient
Worth mentioning that you can also, if you play with an audience, you can play with an audience of up to 10,000, and they're answering questions and getting a score collectively, and they vote on who they think is going to die in each minigame. And if the audience does worse than the winning player, the entire audience dies. But if the audience is better than the winning player, the entire audience wins.
That's awesome. I love that 10,000 your guys' limit. Like 10,001 would just break it, but 10,000 will
Can't do
work
it.
perfectly.
It would open a rift in space.
Has anybody gotten close to that number?
We've definitely had thousands. I don't know if we've gotten to
I think we've
10,000.
had people beat the number, but I'm trying to remember if it was earlier.
When the number was lower.
When the number was lower.
Okay.
You're almost free.
I don't like any of our chances here.
Oh boy.
Come on. Oh my God.
Specialist in 26
Which of these animals just seem like they probably got endangered?
Well,
Tigers
I
are
killed
cool
police
now, right?
today.
Just
so close.
there's a hand out the door. Just pull yourself out there.
But I'll stay here and answer one more question.
You guys should offer a geography-free version of these.
Now with
yeah,
less
there's like the family-friendly filter, but we should add like the geography filter.
Yeah.
Decisions.
Part of the challenge of writing this game is you want people to get stuff wrong. They want it to still be compelling, but also people getting questions wrong, so they go to the killing floor.
Thank you. Real. This is a hell of a production budget here, guys. Yeah. Brilliant. Well, I guess we should point out, I don't think we ever acknowledge, because we just assume everyone's familiar with the series, we're playing on our phones.
Yeah,
So you're just
phones
watching
are
this
controlled.
video confused about what the hell is going on.
Let's type things and draw things and do a bunch of stuff regular controllers and let you do.
And that's why your games have become kind of popular over streaming services like Twitch, because since you don't have to be in the same room with your controller, people can play from wherever, and people like to play with their viewers.
Totally.
Yeah, so back to pack.
Yeah, back to back.
Mhm.
And Trivia Murder Party has an insane number of different mini games. Like, there's just a lot. We barely sort of scratched the surface with one playthrough.
Okay, I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Guesspionage next?
Hey, let's play
Yeah.
Guesspionage.
All right, so Arnie, I remember when we had you on the podcast a while ago, probably about a year ago or so. I believe I was asking you, maybe it was on Twitter because I asked you too much on Twitter, but I was wondering if you guys would ever make an Avalon-inspired game or like a werewolves-inspired game. Is that what Faking It is?
You know, Faking It is... It's funny, we didn't even, like, going into it, we didn't necessarily think of it as being sort of Avalon or Resistance inspired, or, you know, we play a lot of Secret Hitler around here as well.
Okay.
But we do love those social deduction games. And for the longest time, we sort of talked about doing a game like that. And then we didn't even really realize that Faking It kind of is that. We sort of thought of it as sort of like a embarrass yourself social party game. But there is that aspect of, so Faking It, everybody gets, you know, like something like raise your hand if you've ever peed in the shower. But one person doesn't get that prompt. So everyone either raises their hand or doesn't, and you have to figure out which person is the faker.
Oh.
Just kind of pretending like they have that information.
Right. And the audience gets some information the players don't have, which kind of makes seeing what the audience is voting for interesting.
Yeah, so it's kind of like so it's like that sort of Avalon thing where you're trying to suss out who's faking it, but at the same time, it's got like a loose, like, never have I ever drinking game kind of quality.
That seems smart. You guys should just bundle this pack with like a year's supply of booze. It seems to be the future of your company.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, that's how we produced it, so.
What is the future looking like for you guys? Are you planning on releasing a Jackbox Party Pack for every year for the next 50 years?
We're about to talk about that.
That's literally like the conversations that we have every day. Like, we're sort of initially talking about ideas for next year. But nothing is really set in stone yet, you know, like we are both open to just 100% jumping in and doing another party pack because we feel like we've got lots of ideas and it's really creatively fun and satisfying to do a lot of
little
games.
weird games, yeah.
But then also we're open to maybe really drilling in on one or two ideas. So that's still very much up in the air. That's not even me giving you a safe answer. Like, we literally are trying to decide.
Right.
Right.
Sure. So what's going on here?
So Arnie's going to guess what percentage of people he thinks, based on the survey we did before the game, Over 40 have drunk chocolate milk within the last year. He's going to guess 33%. And then we have to guess if the real answer is higher or lower than that.
Is this the structure for this overall game, or just this one question?
This is basically most of this game.
It is. And the cool thing is, if you're playing with an audience, you're not guessing based on the survey, you're guessing based on what the audience answers. So you can have very different answers to this question based on who your Twitch stream is or whoever you're playing with.
I don't
That's
believe
really
that for 1 second, by the way.
59%, that does seem very...
That's outrageous.
Now, with like Family Feud, I'm always skeptical if they poll 100 people, but how the hell did you guys do this poll?
Because I was never consulted.
We have access to the internet.
Yeah.
It's actually not that hard to poll a lot of people.
So you just like tweeted out like, "Hey, take part in our poll,
Hey,
please."
liars! We want to hear what you think about chocolate milk.
We tweeted it out to the Chocolate Milk Association.
Can we mention that we only surveyed 5-year-olds?
This is a really great question.
This is very topical.
Yeah, it is very tough.
Or vice versa.
I know we don't talk about that. God, touched. Whoever asked this question needs to get a raise. It's so smart.
Okay, higher or lower?
Cork, have you ever touched a millionaire?
I don't know. Yeah, sure.
At like a game studio,
Yeah,
like shook some
absolutely.
hands.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know what? Maybe I guess I have touched a millionaire now that I think about it. Maybe this is a lot more common than I was thinking.
I feel like I have there's some people I've touched who I'm not 100% sure if they're millionaires.
You don't ask them when you shake their hands?
I should ask everybody,
You
really.
should smell your hand. Does it smell like money?
I mean, I know I definitely touched millionaires now that I think about it.
Yeah.
When was the last time, Arnie?
Very satisfying.
Yeah, 51% of our respondents have, which seems high. But, we trust them implicitly.
Mhm.
For a Don Rickles question.
So did you come up with this concept and then just slap the spy theme onto it?
I think there was a lot. So Evan Jacober directed this one. And I think there was a lot of back and forth about what the theme of it should be. But I think we just sort of decided that, guessing percentages and sort of using intel and data, it seemed like it lent itself to the spy idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Prototype a lot of game mechanics throughout the year, and this is one where we just loved this mechanic, and I don't even remember what the original pitch was. It definitely had, I think it involved a giant actual pole, for some reason. They were literalizing the idea of a pole, there was a maypole or something. It was not the most exciting theme.
Maypole with googly eyes on it?
I wish.
Yeah, probably.
We really could. We would have stuck with the poll if we had thought of googly.
What about this surveillance footage? What's going on here? Did you guys just go to an airport and film for a while?
And survey
We just hacked into the government's database.
Yeah,
like you do.
48%. That's what we
We're doing
call
so bad this
ballpark.
game.
Let's see who got it right. Here's some points.
All right, I like it.
Love those points.
I really like the look of that eagle with sunglasses.
Next up.
You get points for guessing very close to the right answer, that kind of thing.
Okay, right on.
You know the one.
Perfect.
What percentage
An avatar always
about
wins.
sex from their parents?
That's gotta be high.
What do they mean by learn?
Physically.
Okay.
It's in the same way that they learned it from a millionaire.
Oh boy, learn to.
They must know.
I think if it's learning versus hearing about it, I'm parsing it too much.
What do you
All right.
think?
Just overhearing your parents talk about sex.
Let's
Talk if you're lucky. Go.
I've got to think it's probably a little bit lower. Although I bet it is quite high.
I said lower because the internet exists.
No! Outrageous!
What kind of BS polls are these, Jackbox?
So you
We did mostly interview orphans.
This is about
Orphans
it
at the age of
getting
5.
into the mind of the weirdos we interviewed, or your audience.
Wow.
And be like, what do they think learn means in this game?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
look at the scores.
It is especially satisfying to play if you're streaming it and you have a audience of 5, anywhere from 5 to, as we said before, 10,000 people in your audience. It is fun to be like, all right, I know the weirdos who watch my stream.
Right.
yeah.
They definitely are into
They
chocolate
have
milk.
never touched millionaire.
What percentage of people have more plastic hangers in their closets than wooden or wire ones?
How do you guys come up with this?
Mommy Dearest.
What is
All right.
that? Okay.
I definitely have more plastic.
Really? Well, that's gonna.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be.
I don't throw away
I don't
dry
know
cleaner
though.
hangers.
Plastic is what you want though, right?
I thought you wanted like
But you want
something.
wood, I guess.
Yeah. No more wire hangers.
Round 2, you can now guess
Wires
much
are
higher or much lower. Pick one of those if you think the answer
Wooden are
is off
nice.
by
Wooden are
50% or
underrated.
more. If you're correct,
Yeah, I
you're
think
a
so.
little angel. You get double the points.
God, that's low.
I gotta say higher.
It's probably
Now,
higher.
You can also say much higher or much lower.
But I'm also
round.
thinking a lot of people just have wire hangers. Like they don't want to
Yeah.
invest in even getting
Well,
Well, you
plastic
get free
hangers.
plastic hangers all the time. If you go to Old Navy, if you get dry cleaning stuff.
Yeah. I like Arnie's idea though. Of people who's like, time to renovate the hanger situation.
Right,
Drive
yeah.
into the store.
Although I do need to.
Whoa!
No
All right.
more wire hangers. Seriously, there's like no more of them. They're all plastic.
So which
now, I
game in this
guess.
bundle took the most amount of work?
Let's see who
I mean, I think Trivia Murder Party
Yeah.
probably took the most work just because there's just so much stuff in it.
Yeah.
Definitely the biggest game.
But we're getting better and better at cramming an insane amount of work into one
Yeah.
year.
Well, like TK, for example, wouldn't have been an incredible amount of work, except we sort of started it later in the process than TMP. Like TMP was in production for a long time before the other games in the pack were in production, right?
Yeah.
What percentage of people have worked on farms for at least one day?
What does worked mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, did you visit a dairy farm?
I guess
as, like,
everyone did in
kindergartner?
school, right? Did you guys go to
Work?
farms for school?
Yeah, but
I
we
did.
weren't
At
working.
least once.
34%.
Yeah, but I bet people who would answer this question are like, I picked up a bale of hay once.
That's the thing. You have to guess people are going to brag about it.
Yeah, bunch of braggarts, I say.
Just one person says lower.
Now, if you do much higher or much lower, that's a bet that it's at least 15% off in that direction. You get a
Oh,
bunch
we
of
were
points.
very close.
Oh, nice.
All right, I like it.
Doesn't count.
Is there anything special happen if you get it right on?
Yes, you get a bunch of points.
Love it.
Got it right. Well done. You get points.
Awesome. Arnie, I heard an ad for your podcast at the end of Comedy Bang Bang's podcast a couple months
Oh,
ago.
yeah. Yeah, I have a podcast. Actually, Ryan is one of the producers as well. Hello
Yep.
from the Magic Tavern. We've been very lucky to be advertised on a couple of Earwolf shows.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. I heard Paul F. Tompkins say the name of our podcast.
I know,
which
it's
is
such a
insane.
Oh my god.
nerdy thing to be excited about, but
He does not know our
I
podcast.
almost cried, yeah.
I got a shout out on Sampler too.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, we were
right.
very happy about that.
And why am I blanking on her name now? The creator of Serial, who I love, like listened to it and was
Yeah.
thoroughly confused by
Right,
Magic
she was like,
Tavern.
I don't
She's like,
recommend
I
this.
don't know what this is.
This is the industry I revolutionized.
47%. Everyone else, higher or lower?
I really didn't know what to say here. I mean, people are young. I had a rat tail when I was a kid.
Yep.
Yeah, but you gotta factor in women, right?
I would
Women
love,
count,
yeah, I'd love
yeah.
to know the age demographics of who was answering this, but I'm gonna,
One of you is saying
I'm gonna say lower, but
There are some
People want to
explicit
admit to it.
gender-specific questions where if you're in the audience, you can say, oh, you know, the question's about women, for example, and you're a dude, you can choose not to answer it. But
Yeah. Now you guys would tell us, right, if you just completely made up these numbers?
Yes. Here's your points.
these are real numbers, but when we were playtesting, just trying to figure out the concept, we used a lot of fake numbers, which made the game very hard. Except you could easily remember
Let's see.
the wacky percentages from play session to
How
play session.
about
Yeah.
this?
and then you would be like, I'm not trying to figure out what percentage of the general populace would do this, but what percentage would Ryan just make up?
Right.
People keep to-do lists that they refer to every single day, including weekends.
Oh my god, I hate these people.
Weekends?
I skip a day, but I have a to-do list I look at pretty much every day.
I feel like now that we're all with smartphones, people do this probably a lot more than
Right.
they used to.
It's easier, yeah.
Or at least they aspire to do it.
Including weekends is what's throwing me
Just
off.
deviance. There's no
Everyone
way.
pick Higher or
Including
lower?
weekends probably made people say lower. I'm going to say lower.
I would hope not.
Just one of you is saying higher. Now let's get to the right
But
answer.
I'm always wrong.
Okay.
Oh my god.
All right, there is a god. Okay, great, great.
More spontaneous.
Just prove it.
Do you guys ever feel tapped for trying to come up with new creative prompts or questions, trivia questions, jokes? Do you ever just walk in the office and it's like, I have nothing left. I have written thousands of these things.
Yeah, we have a crying closet.
Oh, great. Okay, that must help.
We faked dozens of focus
I mean,
groups to
sometimes,
determine the
but
most popular
I mean,
answer
part of it is
to
like
this question.
part of the joy of doing a
What
bunch of
playground
different games a
recreational
year is
apparatus
like
that
the sort of
people
variety
prefer
of
when they
it.
were kids?
Yeah.
Here are the most
So
popular
that
ones.
helps.
What is happening?
So you're trying to get the top 3 answers to this question based on the polls.
Go!
Oh boy.
So what do you think are the top 3 playground apparatus?
Man.
Come on.
Okay.
It's gotta be slide. It's gotta be like
Silly.
number 1. The rest are, I guess that's sport, not fart.
Probably.
I mean, some of these are awesome, but I feel like I just don't have access to them.
Oh, I
Yeah.
saw swings way too late.
Don't forget, you can pick 3 answers.
Yeah, I really blew it. I didn't understand the submission thing.
Okay, let's see what you picked.
I picked 2 classics and one that is awesome, but I feel like people maybe don't have them.
Show us the most
Yeah.
popular answers.
Forts on playgrounds is an interesting thing.
I remember that concept. Okay, monkey bars on the board. Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Swings. Yeah.
Swings by a mile. There we go. Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that might have swung the scores quite a bit just now.
so to speak.
As you say.
Ryan.
All right, I did not.
Nicely
I don't think
done.
I was winning until my late game swing there.
This is a great background video as well.
It's just where that camera happens to be.
Yeah.
That's perfect. What about Quiplash 2? I mean, we're the biggest Quiplash fans. What do you guys have in store there?
Well, you have time to play around?
Yeah, we do.
All right, 1 round of Quiplash 2.
Let's do it. You'll see the answer, but the short answer to your question is it's very similar, but there are, of course, all new prompts. There is an all new final round, three types of final round that you might get randomly, actually, and a lot of other sort of like little streamlines and improvements. And the other big kind of bullet point is user generated stuff. So you can make your own prompts and play them and share those with your friends with Quiplash 2.
That sounds great. Yeah, it seems tough, like, to make sequels to these games because they're really solid out of the gate. And after you add the user-generated stuff, how would you ever make a sequel beyond that?
It is a little hard because it's not like, oh, we'll just have our, main character go to a different location, fight a different bad guy. It's like we have to do something that is either materially different or not different enough that people are going to go, that's not Quiplash anymore.
Yeah. Are there still ideas for the future of Drawful and Quiplash, though?
I think so. I mean, one avenue is, like, for example, this pack, we've started, like, really thinking about features that make the whole thing much easier to do over Twitch and streaming.
Yeah.
That's sort of just a refinement kind of a thing, but it's kind of huge for people who use it. But in terms of, like, different final rounds and different, like, game types, I feel like, yeah, we've got a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
That we want
Yeah, there's a lot of, for one, there's just kind of legacy features, right? Like, we've come up with a lot of cool features since Quiplash 1 came out, that we sort of add to Quiplash 2. And a lot of those involve streaming stuff, like being able to censor answers
Censoring.
and stuff like that.
This is round 1.
But I would say both for Drawful 2 and for Quiplash 2, the final round, it's not a revolutionarily different final round, but it is much better.
Yeah.
Like, we fixed a lot of stuff that we wanted to fix
The
with
more
it.
points you get.
Okay.
Go.
All right. Ooh, wonderful background.
That was actually the biggest visual change. Probably the most exciting change right out of the box are these cool swirly backgrounds.
Nice
Yeah.
touch. Let's see. So we're entering 2 random prompts here.
Also, since, there's, with Quiplash specifically, there's a lot of sort of writing time, there's a little bit of downtime. There's also a new feature where you can turn on that the audience can, like, type in jokes that appear on this screen just to kind of give them something to do and kind of add some jokes to the game.
That's smart.
I'm not wild about either of my answers, but
Don't say that.
that's just the way of life. I know, I shouldn't even say.
Mine are great.
Okay, well, I guess that's how that goes.
Have you thought about poop humor?
Oh!
Have I?
Oh,
I
wait.
have to make a conscious effort to stop thinking about poop.
Jeff Cork,
Oh boy.
taking his sweet time.
This is rough. I made a terrible mistake. This is not.
15 seconds.
Good point, though. There have been many rounds of this game where someone has said that and then they end up winning because it's just so weird.
Right, right.
I think for Flash 1, I did a round where I just put butthole as every answer just to see what happened without even reading the prompts, and I think I won.
Of course.
I think I won.
Yeah,
Of
that
course.
sounds good.
TV meteorologist to say during a tornado warning.
What we're saying is there's a lot of strategy.
Okay.
Oh, come on. Come on, ladies and
That would be a
gentlemen.
bad thing. Also, nobody asked him about that. Hey, Bob.
Oh, man. All right. Well, that's fair. Well played, Arnie. To each their own.
Next prompt. The nickname Hitler gave to his mustache, probably. Put in your votes.
Real good.
Yeah.
Oh. Hey, no, Jeff, hold your head high. Hold your head high. Neil's great. Neil's great.
Feels good.
I
Feels
choked
good.
real
I
hard.
thought about not voting for it because it didn't have the umlaut in the.
I'm not even sure if I spelled it right.
All of Johnny Depp's many scarves. Get to voting.
Spinning Skeleton Hiding Genitals is my favorite sequel to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
You guys got the visual right of like a ripcord. All right. It's all there.
And next, a rejected section of the King James Bible.
Oh.
The part where Jesus blank.
Too hot.
It's voting time.
I like these both for
These
very
are both
different
really good.
It's really great. Oh, close.
Sort of need a cheat callback to my own
To your own, yeah. Right.
tornado joke.
Right.
You guys remember in Passion of the Christ where there's a sequence where Jesus invents tables? That is literally a scene
Yes.
in that movie. It's the dumbest
You
thing.
need to look it up. It's astounding.
I did not remember that. But
Yeah.
I just like that there's all the stuff on the cutting room floor of like, and then what about spoons? And they're like, Mel Gibson, you can get one of these.
You're saying he's not amazing?
Yeah, exactly. Read the text.
Let's see. Oh, these are tough.
Sometimes I get to the end of writing a really long answer and I'm just like, oh, that was not worth it. And then my thumb hovers over the send button.
It's like every text you send. I get it.
Yeah, I was not wild about either of those.
Do you guys also do that thing? Is it just built into this game that when someone's taking a long time to answer, you shout out the time they have left, but you lie? That's a default Jackbox move.
You know, that's a good step up because a friend of mine badgered me about the fact that we didn't have the you only have 10 seconds left audio in a version of Quiplash 2, and so we put it in. And I was like, all right, good, that's good, we'll put it in. But I much prefer the idea of faking out instead.
Yeah, mind games. Also, how many times have you guys reached out to Nintendo to ask to make the next Mario Party?
Oh man, that'd be amazing.
That would be amazing.
They say they're licensing
Okay,
out their
I hope
stuff
y'all made
more.
me
Get on
proud.
it.
It's true. Well, they let us make a mobile version, right?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Churches could make it would probably get more people to attend. Okay, pick your favorite quote now.
Damn it. You've seen the movie. Now engage in the activity.
I don't feel good about that obvious pandering callback.
No,
Although
that's
when I was
fine.
typing in my answers, the only thing I could think about then was like, well, yeah, Jesus made tables.
A mystery that
Carbon.
Nancy Drew couldn't solve. The case of the blank. Vote now.
What if somebody
See, I punted. I was curious to see what would happen. The safety one.
Ah,
I will
okay.
never press that again.
Do you
There
guys
are
have?
about 100 of those, and sometimes they work very well, and often they don't.
Right.
It's a random bucket of answers.
Totally random.
Because you don't want to have someone push the safety quip and then get the funniest thing in the world
Right.
and win.
It's also
Right.
a tap points. But,
Right.
You know, it's better than someone not entering anything.
Yep.
So.
I hope that half that 100 is just butthole as well, because I think that probably works. Really well.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But we talked over how great both of these were.
Oh, that's fine. We're geniuses. It's fine. It's no big
And
deal.
next is
Yeah, it's true.
a good nickname for Wolf.
Great
Blitzer.
question.
Actually, it's colon between these two, and it's one giant nickname.
Real good.
just want to see that name on a chyron under Wolfwitz's head.
Do you guys have a total for how many prompts are in Quiplash 2?
Round two
Are we
is
supposed
through.
to
Let's
say?
see
I don't
what's
know.
in the scores.
I do, but
More.
usually we're just like a lot more than the last one.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head, but
Okay. Wow, well done, Arnie.
all right. That snake tornado fire really put me over the
Oh,
top.
boy. Here we
It's
go.
always a safe
Three,
bet.
The last lash. This time you'll all be
Tornado fire.
answering the same prompt.
Oh, what do we got here?
This is a fun one.
Finish writing this comic.
Oh, wow, okay. Who drew these?
One of our, for the vast majority of them were done by Owen Watson, one of our newer artists. He did like a whole batch of these, and they're awesome.
That's great.
So this is a new thing in Quiplash 2. There are 3 possible end rounds you can get. Comic Lash is this one, where you finish a comic. Word Lash, you have to use a specific word in a specific way. And Acro Lash, you have to make up the full name for an acronym.
A cool name for an acronym?
The full name for an acronym. So like they
Okay.
give you like ABT, and you have to come up with what that would stand for.
That's really good. You guys are really smart.
Be closing.
So, hey,
How many jokes are you required to make in your interviews down there for new hires? Is it, do you just hand them Quiplash and see how they do?
that's actually a good. We should
Time to
automate
take a look.
that process and make a game that's just for new hires.
Medals to award
Absolutely.
this time. Get out your gold and silver medals now.
I have an idea of which is Arnie.
Oh, no. Don't, look, I'm not responsible for every butthole in the world. And you can quote me on that.
There needs to be a layer of sarcasm to some of these. I'm voting assuming it's sarcastic.
Okay, everyone, let's see who got those medals. Silver. And the gold.
All
All
right.
right, let's turn that into cold, hard points.
I stole that joke from Jeff Cork, by the way. It's his default whenever he has to write a caption for a screenshot in Game Informer magazine. His first draft is just who farted. 'Cause it works for every screenshot.
Let's see the final scores.
Be honest, how many times has something gone to print with that still in there?
0 times.
We've had much worse, don't worry. Slipped through the cracks. Well done, Arnie. It's only appropriate.
It makes up for how poorly I did in all the other
And
games.
guess,
Nice. Well, congratulations, guys. This seems like another good package.
Oh,
thanks a lot.
so
We're
much.
very excited about it.
Yeah. Cool. And be sure to be in touch. We'd love to know what you guys are doing for the future. You're a very, very interesting studio, and I hope you realize that.
Thanks, man. I really
we do.
appreciate it.
Thank
Yeah.
you. It means a lot. We always love talking to you guys. It's always fun.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll be playing more of this during our Extra Life live stream, which will be coming up in early November. So if you're a viewer of this video and you want to see more of it, tune in then and donate some money to charity.
And Arnie and Ryan have volunteered to play with us, so it'll be super fun.
Yep, nonstop, no
Yep.
problem. All
So
right.
there you go.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. Why not? At least, yeah. Sure.
probably. So, I have a baby, so I'm rarely allowed to do anything.
Okay.
I am a baby, but let's go.
Perfect. All right. Thanks for putting them on the spot there, Cork. All right. Thanks again, guys. And thanks again to all the viewers who watched this episode. And be sure to tune in next time for a new test chamber. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.